Hi everyone, I'm JD from Willow Bound Journals. I'm the Willow Princess, and this is my art journal that I did a full flip through of a little while ago on my channel. And I just had saved a page. I went through each page and talked about each one, but I did save one page so that I could share a faith video with you guys. I know lots of you request those videos or only watch those videos. So this one I dedicate to you. So this one here, I quite like it. I just had fun playing around with, again, different ways of doing things. So just a scrap of paper here that was a book page to write on. And this thread is quite special to me. It's just embroidery thread from my grandma that was passed down to me in a box. And I was going through it all one day, separating them all and getting them into a nice bit of order instead of a tangled mess. And some tiny bits of threads were left over, so I just gathered up some of them and stapled them to the page, and I just love how that looks, so I want to do that again. And then over here I did my journaling about what this page is about. So, oh, and this beautiful piece comes from the lovely Tina. She sent me this in some beautiful, beautiful happy mail, and she sent me quite a few of these, and I've been using them slowly in my journals because they're so precious. I very much love them, so big thank you to Tina. And yeah, so basically what happened was for the bookmaking course I'm doing, it's a year-long course, and every month we have a Zoom call with our teacher, Sabrina, and she gives us writing prompts, and we do a bunch of free writing in those sessions. And her very first prompt that she gave us for this day was, what is your thread? And she asked questions like, what color is your thread? And thread meaning what is a thread that holds you together or that runs through your life or that something you can always come back to. That's what I think of when I think of thread. And when she said, what color is your thread? I thought of gold because that's been a recent color that has really spoken to me with my quote that I came up with a couple of years ago, that there is always gold and glitter in the dirt and darkness, and if you keep showing up long enough, you'll always find the gold. And gold for me means all the good things in life, so the wisdom, the beauty, the joy, the creativity, the inspiration, the kindness, and the love. It's all around us, even on those days where we can't see it. It doesn't mean it's not there. And so it's always around us, and I always want to be looking for it. I always want to be documenting it, and I always want to be sharing it. And so I want to write, in response to this prompt, what is your thread? I went to write the word gold. But after I finished writing the word, I looked down at what I'd written, and I'd written God. The L didn't make it into the word. And you know how that often happens. And so I looked down and I was like, oh well, it was a mistake, but it worked. And I just kind of went with it. And I felt like this sort of moment where God, his hand came into that moment. And of course, yes, God is my ultimate thread, my beginning thread. And it just kind of led me down, some free writing, free thinking, down a path where I was just thinking about how I wrote it here, like how God is my beginning and end and the messy middle. He is my messy middle. And the middle is full of pain and struggle, but also full of love and creative genius. And I just wrote this line, I don't make sense without God. And I thought, yes, that's so true. Life can often not make sense to me. The pain of life especially, and the struggles of life don't really make sense to me. But knowing that I don't make sense without God gives me comfort, even in those times when nothing makes sense around me. So his love is my foundation through that painful, chaotic middle. And that's all I need. I don't need to understand it. Things don't need to make sense. I can just know that I'm loved. And if I know I'm loved, I can stand through the confusion, the pain, the darkness, and with love. Without love, I'm gone. But with love, I can endure the messy middle, basically. Sometimes it can definitely rock me and make me question and all that. And sometimes I can be like, oh, I don't want to be shaken. I don't want to have questions. I don't want to be confused. I don't want to feel this lost or whatever. But I'm learning to just go with it. That's part of the messy middle. Part of living is feeling confused, is feeling lost, is feeling dark sometimes, and going through struggles and pain. That is the messy middle. There's no avoiding that. And just to name it, claim it, acknowledge it, recognize it, and then hand it over and be like, I'm loved through this. That for me is super encouraging, and I hope it's encouraging to you as well. I also thought the color of my thread could be rainbow as well. Rainbow seems to be my color this year, but also throughout my life. Whenever I got pencils or texters as a kid and as an adult, let's face it, I would always use my favorite colors in that collection, and it would be my favorite pink, my favorite red, my favorite orange, my favorite yellow, my favorite green, my favorite blue, and I would use just those. And often the pencils would get like this tiny because I would only use those ones of my favorites. And I just love rainbows. I love hanging my crystal in my window and seeing rainbows on my walls and on my desk. And now I just want to get a million crystals and have rainbows and color and light everywhere and sparkles everywhere. And this is part of me, again, embracing the Willow Princess. And the Willow Princess will have crystals and rainbows and light and color and sparkles and glitter everywhere. So I want to ask you if you would like to pull out your journal and do some free writing, or you can junk it up if you want and do an art page or a scrapbook page or a junk journal page, mixed media page. What is the thread running through your life? And you might want to adapt to that. What is your current thread? Or what is your thread just for this day? Or what is your thread for this season that you're in? What is your thread? What color is your thread? And maybe you want to do a page on that. And if you do, feel free to take a photo of it and tag me on Instagram or share it in the Willow Bound Journals Facebook group page. I would love to see your pages, or just write in the comments down below. What is your thread? What is your thread? And see how your thread is something that can give you a foundation, give you something you can always hold on to, and something you can always go back to. So yeah, gold is a thread in my life, and God is a thread in my life. The ultimate thread. He is my first thread, and yeah, I just love this. I've put this on a card, that he's my beginning and end and messy middle, and I don't make sense without him, and his love is my foundation. Always good to be reminded of that. So hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. A big thank you to my beautiful patrons who supported me in July. I literally cannot do this without you, so it means the absolute world to me. If you would like to support me for the month of August, feel free to head on over to my Patreon. The link is down below in the description box, and that is where you get access to extra videos, the Make a Journal With Me series, and the sneak peeks to my journals and creations and first access for all of those, plus printables, every digital kit in my Etsy, and mail tiers, and lots of fun goodies over there. You are also welcome to donate through PayPal or buy me a coffee as a once-off thing anytime. Thank you so much for all of your support and for being here with me on this creative journey.